Chapter 7, Cold Call. Minutes after the phone call with Uncle Tommy, you and Tristan arrive at the drunk tank. Several of the windows are smashed out. Inside, you find Uncle Tommy holding a dustpan and broom, attempting to clean up the chaos. Hey kid, Tristan. Uncle Tommy, I'm glad you're so safe. Me too. It's good I wasn't here when it happened. Well, you might not have been physically hurt, but something you love was. That can leave other kinds of wounds. I'll be fine as soon as you bastards who did this are caught. Anything from the camera behind the bar? I forgot to change the damn tapes, and I won't be making that mistake again. Alright, then be a good witness and walk me through your day. Tommy sighs and takes a seat at the bar, runs a hand over his balding head as he recounts the day. Opening at 11 like usual, had delivery coming around noon. Matty was going to help me unload it, but he never showed. So I went down to the diner for lunch. When I got back, I found this. Still no word from Matty, too. I'm trying to get that feeling, Chloe. Did they take anything besides Dad's gun? And the money from the register, not sure what else. Yet. You should see my office, though. Hell of a mess. Why take the badge and the gun? They can't be worth much. Yeah, for us an amateur, he may not know that. Don't worry, Tommy. We'll get to the bottom of this. Tommy heads into the back to make some coffee while you and Tristan turn to face the room. You're there behind the bar, taking stock of what's missing. Why leave the good booze? So they took the money from the register, but locked it afterwards. And then there's... You trail off, eyes falling on the dust-stained, empty spot of the wall. Your heart sinks seeing it. Tristan places a hand on your shoulder. We'll get it back. You move to the window, examining the broken edges and the spray of glass on the sidewalk outside. See how little of the glass wound up in the bar? The window was broken from the inside. So this wasn't the entry point? Not likely. It could mean they got in another way, left in a hurry, or someone was trying to cover their tracks. You poke your head into the back office. Scattered paperwork completely covers the floor, but the safe in the corner remains unharmed. Whoever did this was looking for something in here, but not in the safe. Just then, there's a knock on the door. You return to the main room as a middle-aged woman pokes her head in from the outside. Hello, is Tommy here? I'm looking for my son, Matty. Sophia. Your Uncle Tommy comes out from the back, a look of concern on his face. Thanks for calling, Tommy. I'm worried sick. Matty never came home last night, and when you said he didn't come in... Is that unusual for him? Yeah, he's a good kid. Always home by curfew. Sophia, I think... Matty's in danger. Oh, God, you don't think he's been kidnapped, do you? Do you have any reason to think he would be? No, I mean, other than... No! Sophia, what's going on? You see, I took out a loan from the butcher. You what? I know, but I was desperate. The car broke down, and I couldn't get work, and we'd be out on the street. Forgive me, but I'm afraid I need some clarification. Who do I dare ask is the butcher? Nico the butcher Borodin. Jimmy and I tried to bust that sleazy loan shark for years. I wish you came to me first, Sophia. I know, man. He's been doing little jobs for Nico to pay down what I owe. I told him not to get mixed up in it, but... Where can we find this guy? He's got a joint over in Queens. I'll text you the address. Tristan drives silently as you thumb through your phone messages, but glance over when you let out a heavy sigh. On top of all of it, Luke still has definitely no answer on where the knife came from. That's the last thing we need. Don't be angry, but maybe the police should handle the break-in. We have our own case to focus on, and this is so close to home. Look, Tristan, of course this hits close to home. Somebody robbed my uncle, took my dad's badge and gun. I'm pissed off, obviously, but I'm still a professional. I still think it would be smart to get some distance from this for your own good. I'll keep that in mind. Now pull over. We're here. In a quiet neighborhood, Tristan parks across the street from a local butcher shop. He lets out a sigh of relief. You know, I assumed the butcher was a gruesome, soubrette. I didn't realize he was a literal butcher. Could be both. This place has slimy front written all over the front. Well, if the butcher is a volatile, as your uncle claims, he may want to play this cautiously, especially if he has Maddie. As you approach, you hear the sounds from a side alley. A heavily tattooed man in 40 grunts as he unloads cases from a truck. So this is what happened to you. Nico Borodin? The man pauses, half open door, and a blur of brown fur shoots out from down the alley, banging against Nico. Hey, it's a stripe. Hey, no, get off! The dog runs up to Tristan, bounding up and down. Tristan reaches out to pet her. Hello there. Aren't you just the cutest little... Big dog, get your ass out of here! Nico kicks at the dog's heel, spurring her on down the alley with a yelp of distress. The mutt! Now who the hell are you? I'm a private detective looking into a possible missing persons case. I understand Maddie Maldonado works for you sometimes? Might do. What's it to you? I asked because I thought you might have seen him today. might have not, but last time I saw the kid he was fine. Right. Mind if we come in and have a look around? Why would I let you in? Because... you're better off dealing with us than the NYPD. We're just looking for a missing kid. Anything else we might find in there doesn't matter to us. The authorities, on the other hand, well, they won't be as courteous. Fine, knock yourselves out. You follow Nico into the butcher shop, your eyes sweeping the room for anything of interest. What kind of work does Maddie do for you? Kid runs, deliveries for me sometimes. And did he deliver anything for you today? No, I didn't have anything for him. But it's possible he dropped something off. What kind of something? Kind I know nothing about. Now you'll look in the back room or what? After you. Nico leads you through a door behind the counter and into a pitch-black office. The back of your neck prickles with hesitation. Not a fan of the darkness, Mr. Borodin. Yeah, quit your whining. Let me get the light. In the next instant, you feel a large hand on your shoulder shoving you forward. You and Tristan crash to the ground at the same time, the air around you suddenly cold as death. Hey! Tristan casts about for a light switch as you whirl towards the door, just as it slams shut. As the light clicks on, you find yourself in a walk-in freezer. You glance at Tristan as you hear the sound of the locking mechanism falling into place. Nico, open the door right now. Oh no, did you get stuck in there? Shoot, I'm sorry. This damn door sticks on me all the time. You pull out your phone to call Luke, only to find that you have no reception. Nico's muffled voice continues gloating on the other side of the door. You really thought they wouldn't recognize Jimmy Rose's kid? Bah! Tell your uncle I was sorry to hear about this bar. Nico's laughter trails off. Soon the only sound you can hear is the steady whir of the cooling system. Right, now what? Let's search the walls for an opening. The two of you work your way around the perimeter, searching through the produce-lined walls, but they're surprisingly smooth. Anything? Unless you can crawl through a 4-inch fan. Here's my question. What's Nico's endgame? Trapping us in here? He wouldn't leave us, Switty. He's a lowlife, not a killer. He'll let us out once he's done doing whatever he needs to do. At least, I hope he will. A minute ticks by, agonizingly slow. Tristan taps a frost-covered thermometer on the wall. 37, not great, but not terrible. We should be okay as long as we keep dry and don't take our clothes off. Why would we take our clothes off? Well, because this really stupid thing in Hollywood. As many as half of hypothermia deaths are due to paradoxical undressing. You learn surprising things during the safety briefings before a diplomatic visit to Lycos. Yep, the condenser clicks on, and a Cloud of cold air begins to fill the room. You wrap your arms around yourself, trying to conserve body heat. We could huddle together for warmth, and before you say anything, I'm not flirting, I'm freezing, literally. Plus, if you think this has something to do with Nico and your father's history, it might help to talk about him. Your father, I mean. You really know how to set a mood. No, you're shivering. Come on, what do you say? Diamond choice. Cuddle up with Tristan. Fine, you have a point. Good. Then get over here and cuddle me. This is not cuddling, this is strictly platonic temperature management. Yes, platonic cuddling, of course. You scooch together in the corner the furthest away from the vent. Would you prefer to be Big Spoon or Little Spoon? I'll be Little Spoon, because you're bigger. Have no fear, I shall valiantly shield you from the cold. You're nothing if not a hero. I've been saying it for years. Christian takes your hand and pulls you in his arms as he sits against the wall of the freezer. You lean into his embrace as a warmth from his chest radiates into your back. Watch the hands, don't get it carried away. How very implicative is an insult to my honor. You roll your eyes, but can't help but ease into Tristan as the heat from his body enfolds you like a mitten. Oh, nice and toasty. Toasty is relative when you're locked in a freezer. Feeling cold is just a state of mind. If you think you're warm, then you will be. Bullshit meters going off the charts. Actually, no, it's actually true. Just like mind over matter, you can actually end up healing your body. If you use your mind. But you really have to work on that. It was worth a shot. Though distractions would help me while we wait. For example, you could talk and I could listen. About my dad? If you like, whatever you want to share. Why don't you talk about the girl that, disappeared? I mean, what? Grow quiet. Tristan rubs your arms gently, but says nothing. He was stabbed at a basketball game. Died on the scene, right in front of me. I was 13. Chloe, I'm so sorry. Yeah, me too. Who was behind it? Anybody's guess? They never got the guy, never even had a real lead. When a cop gets killed, well, there are always a lot of people who want him dead. That puts some things on focus, I guess. What things? The constant tenacity to ask questions, for starters. Also the lack of faith in law enforcement and how carefully you are letting people close. It's not exactly something most people want to hear about. I'm not most people, trust me. I know what a traumatic loss is like, and I want to hear anything you wish to tell me. You suck in a deep breath, a surge of feeling bursting through you. It's been so long since you had anyone to talk to about this. My dad was the hero to the city. He was the kind of man who took criminals off the streets, but also fought against the corruption in the system. The department never should have stopped looking for his killer. He deserves justice. But the asshole who took him from me got away scot-free. One day you'll find out who did this. It might not be today or even this year, but the day will come. A shiver runs through Tristan's body. You notice how cold his skin feels, even though you're through your clothes. You're still freezing here. You slide your dress up just enough and slip both of his hands beneath your shirt or skirt. You brace yourself as his icy skin presses against the warmth of your thighs. Oh, you are terrifically warm, Rose. His surprise quickly melts into appreciation as the contact warms his hand. He shifts to look you in the eye, quirking an eyebrow. Are you sure this is entirely professional, detective? Perks of being in a life-threatening situation, don't get used to it. He chuckles softly, then grows serious again, a thoughtful expression on his features. Any tips on how to deal with it? The loss, the grief? Shouldn't I be asking you? I figure you're pretty practiced with the sort of thing. He lets out a humorous laugh. Running as far away from it as possible hasn't exactly been the most productive response. Honestly, I deal with it with focusing on my work, honoring his memory. If he were alive now, he'd still be on the streets keeping people safe, though. That's what I'm doing. But he had people he loved. People he shared his life with, like you and your uncle. And now I'm paying the price for it. Chloe, if what you've told me is true, I think your father would be very proud of you. He shifts, nudging your chin with his thumb until you're looking him in the eyes. But I also think he would have wanted more for you, and it would break his heart to know that losing him meant you couldn't let anyone close. Maybe I just didn't find anybody I wanted to let close. These feels. Tristan tilts his head forward as you turn towards him. You're suddenly aware of just how close his lips are to yours, and how fast your heart is beating. And now, you feel an invisible force drawing you towards him. Your lips part in anticipation outside of your conscious thought. Now, here with you. His eyes flutter closed as he leans closer, and yet... But before your lips meet, you're interrupted by the sound of a door slamming shut, following moments later by scrambling at the freezer door. Wait, what is that? The dog. A youthful voice calls out from the other side of the heavy door. What are you doing in there, girl? Hey, we're trapped in here, help! You jump up and start pounding on the door. You hear excited barking and approaching footsteps, and then the door wrenches open. Whoa! Oh, hey, Maddie. You and Tristan stagger through the door and back into the shop front, shaking with relief. Good dog, very, very good dog. Chloe, what are you doing here? Looking for you, Maddie, so start talking now. Maddie rubs the back of his neck, glancing around the shop nervously. Look, I can. I wish I could help, but Nico, he's dangerous. You haven't seen me pissed off. I make Nico look like a just chihuahua. Hey, your mom raised you better than this. She's horrified enough that you're caught up in this. I can't imagine how she'd feel knowing you sided with Nico. I'm guessing you already know. I've been working for Nico to pay down my mom's debt, which was fine until he found out I work at the drunk tank. I said if I knocked the place over, he'd wipe my mom's slate clean for good. But why? What was he after? It can't be the badge and the gun. That was a nephew to Tommy. The paperwork from the office, that's what Nico wanted. The rest was just to cover it up. What kind of paperwork? The boring kind. The tax stuff? I think I grabbed a liquor license. He wasn't very specific. What does a guy like Nico want with random business paperwork for some hole-in-the-wall bar? I don't know. He's on his way to the docks to sell it to some guys named Pavel and Vanya. I only met them once, but they're scary. Oh, but I can show you where they're meeting. I followed Nico once. I don't have a habit of bringing kids to an active crime scene. I'll just show you the way. Wait in the car. Please let me help make things right. Okay. But you're doing exactly as I say. No arguments. I say jump, you jump. I say run, you run. You say duck, I get in the water and start quacking. I get it. Good. Let's roll. As the three of you exit into the alleyway. Ruff, McGruff, Chicago, Illinois. Hey, it's our four-legged sort of savior. Come on, girl. Well, get out of here. You can't follow us. Seems a shame to leave her here. We'll have to call the shelter after we finish with Nico. Listen, let me guess. We're gonna take the dog? Or we could bring her with us. You want me to bring a stray dog to a criminal meeting? She's not a stray, she's a card dog. Nico wanted her in a card game, but he didn't want her, so he threw her out on the street. He never even gave her a name, just calls her that mutt. She only hangs around here because I sneak her leftovers. She's a big sweetheart. Well, she did save us back there in the freezer. You can call her the unofficial K9 unit to match her unofficial partner. The dog pushes her head against her hand, paws on the ground, her eyes wide and pleading. Come on, how can you say no to that face? Diamond choice. Okay, you convinced me. She's coming with us. The dog bounds around your legs, tail wagging furiously, then comes to a stop in front of you. You bend to scratch her behind her ears. This is the happiest I've ever seen her. I believe the newest member of our little squad deserves a name. Chloe, care to do the honors? Alice in Wonderland, wouldn't it? Alice, I like it. As tough as it is approachable. Well, girl, how do you like Alice? Roof. Alice pants happily at your feet, almost like she's smiling in approval. Maddie, you said she's a guard dog? Yeah, I guess some crew leader Nico knows, breeds, and trains him for fun. I don't see what tricks she knows. Alice, sit. Point on the ground as you speak the command, she instantly follows, ears at the alert. Oh, good girl, can you play fetch? Tristan grabs what looks like the handle of a broken cane off the ground and throws it down the alley. She chases after it, leaping to catch the piece of wood midair. Very good, girl. That skill will definitely come in handy. For what? Seriously. She trots back, earning a piece of sausage to Tristan's wife from the butcher shop counter. That's actually what we should do. Go back in there, grab a few things of meat, you know. Hey, you know, it's only right, figuring we sat in a freezer. Nico never really tried to use her, but she should be able to heal, attack, sniff out, too. That's really useful. But here's the real test. Okay, Alice. Go take down Nico for me. Point down the alley, but Alice cocks her head, perks her ears, and waits. I'm not sure dog training was advanced quite to that level. You never know unless you try. Ruff. So are you satisfied with her abilities? She's a dog. She could just be cute as long as she doesn't tear up the apartment or house, and I don't give a damn. You kneel down to give Alice another thorough scratch. Very. You adopted the dog. Welcome to the team, Alice. Now come on, we got a job to do. Ruff. The four of you head for Tristan's car, hop in, and take off towards the dogs. As you speed across the town with Maddie and Alice in the backseat, you dial Luke's number, putting the phone on call, or speaker. Wow. Brain fart. Hey, Luke, I need something, or everything you can find on two guys named Pavel and Vanya. They're connected to Nico Boridin. Here are a few seconds of typing, and Luke gives a low whistle. Damn, Chloe. What'd you get yourself into? No time to explain right now. Why and who are they? Pavel and Vanya Solinkin. Twins, princes of a Solonik crime family. What's their MO? Anything that would include stolen business documents? Oh yeah, for sure. Synthetic identity theft is their bread and butter. Tell me more about synthetic identity theft. Basically steal info from a bunch of people to make fictional identity. Phone numbers from one, social from another, that sort of thing. Sounds like it'd be pretty hard to detect. And a nightmare to come back from, especially when powerful groups like the Solonics are behind it. A small business would make a good target. They'll have your uncle tied up in bad credit reports for years. Yep. Welcome to the Dark Wibbyhoo. Well, there's a pretty good chance I'm about to catch these guys making a handoff with the dumbest loan shark in New York. How does this tie to the murders? It doesn't. This is a personal matter. Do most of your personal matters involve Russian mobs? Or, you know what, on second thought, don't answer that. I can hardly believe I'm saying this, but maybe the cops should handle this one? Hell no, they just arrest Maddie for a break-in. End of story. We'll do their jobs for them, then call them to arrest the actual bad guys. Roger that, but Rose, you gotta learn how to take a day off. Days off, what are those for people like us? Tristan follows Maddie's directions, and soon you pull up outside a sketchy warehouse on the docks. This is the place, and there's Nico's car. Which means the Black Town car probably belongs to our Russian friends. Time to pay them a little visit. Are we just rushing in on the face off against the dangerous, most likely armed mobsters in broad daylight, or is there a plan? The plan is we sneak in, get proof without being seen. If we get a clear picture of Nico, putting my uncle's W-2s in some mafia's boss's hands, smug prick's done for. I must say I like this side of you. Not to interrupt whatever this is, but, what can I do? Sit in the car. You can keep watch. Heck yeah, I'll be your eyes on the outside. If you think I back up, I'll let you know. What about Alice? Alice can protect Maddie. Our guard dog can do what she does best. Guard. But she could help us in there. Or she could give us away. Doesn't love the thought of leaving the kid out here alone. A fair point. You'll keep him in one piece, won't you, Alice? Kristen ruffles Alice's ears. Then she leans into his hand, tongues lolling. You and Tristan creep towards the warehouse. You find a cracked bay door, slip inside. Following sounds of raised voices, you crouch behind a stack of boxes, peering around the edge.
This is not the way to do things. How many rules you're trying to break in one day?
Don't I know that guy from somewhere?
Pavel, chill. What's the big deal?
Pavel snatches your uncle's paperwork from Nico, then hits Nico with a thick stack of paper. You lift your phone to snap a picture.
Talking business over the phone, calling a meeting in the middle of the day, it's like you want the cops on their asses.
Got you red-handed. Got it. Sounds like Nico's contacts aren't too happy with him. Contact singular. Anyway, where's the other one? Probably behind you. Suddenly you hear a commotion from across the warehouse. Thudding footsteps echoes. Another figure enters, dragging someone with him. Let me go! Oh, for the love of you had one job. Said in the dog, too.
Zetkis!
Oh no. Watching horrors, Maddie wrestles to escape Vanya's grip. The huge man hauls him to the center of the warehouse and throws him down at Nico's feet.
Found your friend outside, Borden. Dog to beat my hand, Siaka. Who is he, huh? Why do you have him waiting out there? I have no idea. I've never seen this kid before in my life, I swear.
Maddie lunges for paperwork in Pavel's hands. Give me that back.
This is one of your little rats. The hell kind of game are you trying to play, Medach?
Vanya pulls a gun, furiously cocking. Tristan swears under his breath as you pull your phone back out. Luke, call the police. Brooklyn Navy Yards off Dock 74. We have to do something. I have an idea. Before you have a chance to talk yourself out of it, you round the corner to face Nico and the Sullen-Nick twins, your hand casually covering your holstered taser. Hey, how about we put the gun away and just talk this out?
Fit chins, who the hell are you?
I should have gone with
Sabolba, eh?
Someone who doesn't want to see a defenseless kid get shot. No one has to get hurt.
Pretty sure we're the ones making that call. What do you think, Vanya? We can't let them leave. Not without a reminder of what happens if they cross us. No disagreements. Let's take an ear to make sure they listen.
Whoa there. Really letting your anger sneak up on you, huh? Make a subtle shooing motion, hoping Tristan makes the hint or sees it. A moment later, you see him quietly stalk around behind the mobsters.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
I'd strongly prefer to keep it that way. Both men turn and look at Tristan, giving you an opening to strike, and also obscuring your view of their hands. Wait, which of these guys had the gun? I think it was Vanya. You somersault past Pavel, regaining your feet just in time to sweep Vanya's legs out from under him, sending him sprawling to the ground. Drop the weapon. You whip your taser towards his face, shoulders squared and smile in triumph as he lets the gun clatter to the floor. Don't even think about trying anything. But Pavel begins to edge around you. You keep your taser aimed at Vanya, your gaze flicking between the two brothers. Tristan, little help here? Tristan lunges towards Pavel, but Vanya stretches out a leg and trips him. They grapple, both reaching for the gun as Pavel hurtles towards you.
Enough!
I'm just gonna go ahead and tase him. Bring the taser to bear, pull the trigger. Pavel stops in his tracks and collapses to the ground, his body rigid with electricity coursing through. After a moment, his head lolls back and he lies motionless on the ground.
Screw this, I'm out.
Nah, don't worry, I'll get him. Nico bolts for the exit with Maddie Hahn in his tail. You start to chase after them when Tristan calls out, "Chloe, the gun!" You spin on your heels to see Tristan and Vanya still struggling on the ground, each trying to grab the pistol just out of reach. I'm gonna go ahead and choke him out. You charge over, grab Vanya by the shoulders, pulling him away from Tristan and wrapping an arm around his throat.
Hey,
You hold on just long enough to make him go nap, relaxing once you feel his muscles go slack.
Would it be poor form to say that I found that intensely attractive?
Not the time Maddie needs us. Together you hurry after Maddie and Nico. The two of you bolt outside to find Maddie clamped around Nico's back 3 steps from the door of Nico's car.
You're not getting away! Get off me, you rotten little punk!
Nico grabs Maddie by the throat, wrenching him off and slamming him down onto the hood.
You and your leech of a mom have been nothing but trouble. I should have broken their legs and called it a day.
But now you upset the dog. Suddenly a blur of fur tears across the parking lot and launches onto Nico's back, jaws clamping down on his shoulder. Where the hell has this dog been the entire Diamond choice? No! Nico releases Maddie, staggering wildly as Alice drives him to the ground and pins him. Get it off!
Whoa.
That is a very good dog. That's my Alice. Sirens and flashing lights into the parking lot as a dozen squad cars rip onto the scene. 2 familiar figures step out on the sole civilian car. We're in trouble, aren't we? Alright. Does someone want to tell me what the hell is going on? Chloe, since when do you have a dog? Listen, you remember Tom Hanks and the dog he had? Yeah, don't question that. It's not a long story. A few minutes later, you and Tristan are seated on the hood of his car, watching the police take Nico, Pavel, and Vanya away. So is this typical day for you when you're not investigating serial homicides, that is? Let's see, I got locked in a freezer, took on a Russian mob, got in a gunfight, got a dog. Oh, a sweet, brave dog. You bend down to ruffle Alice's ears. Ruff. Well, all in all, yeah, I'd say this is a pretty typical Tuesday. Oh, boy. And does your boss get mad at you on a typical Tuesday? Tristan points out to Mafalda approaching, arms folded across her chest. Luke follows behind her, looking sheepish. Is this what you call keeping low for profile? Sorry, Rose, she overheard me calling the cops. Mafalda, listen, this has nothing to do with the case. It's a personal matter. I know, Luke filled me in. She glances towards where Pavel and Vanya are handcuffed to bare EMTs tending to their wounds. They started it. For once, I don't care who started it. I'm sure the NYPD will be ecstatic to have them dropped right into their laps. Well, someone's got to do their jobs. Is that why you're out here? To do the NYPD's job? No, it's about my uncle's bar. Yeah, we figured that much out. Luke hands you a rumpled stack of dirty paperwork from inside, and sitting on top of it... Thank God you found it. It was in your pal Nico's car. I'm relieved it's all in one piece. Just then, a pair of officers dragging Nico out in handcuffs past you. He spits at your feet, muttering.
This isn't over, Ross. You messed with the wrong people today, you'll see. It's going to bite you in the ass, just like your old man. Ask this Carletos about something. Big B's been laughing her ass off about they stuck that pig for years.
If you know something,
maybe I'll tell you if you beg as hard as your dear old dad did.
That's it, I've heard about just about enough. Tristan hops off the hood of the car, grabs Nico by the collar, pulls back his arm. I'm gonna let Nico have it. Thorn! Hey, don't look at me. I froze up really bad nerve in my back. Tristan's arm surges forward and he flicks Nico on the nose.
What the hell was that?
The only thing I can do in broad daylight in front of a dozen cops, don't let it fool you. And if you ever go after those boys, Mother or Tommy Rose again, I'll confiscate any part of you I consider a threat. Tristan steps closer, whispering too quietly for you to hear. Nico's eyes widen with fear.
Get this nut job away from me! Holding! I want to be put in the holding cell!
With a shrug, the officers drag Nico away, watch them go, and then spot Maddie sitting by himself on the curb. Is the kid gonna be okay? I'd hate to see him get in trouble for this. I spoke with the officers. Unless Tommy is pressing charges, they're willing to let him off with a warning. I have to say, I'd be unpleasantly surprised. I've been led to believe you're a proper hard-ass, Mafalda. She is, but her very dark secret is she actually gives a crap about helping people. Well, this calls for a celebration, and I think I know just the bar. What do you Sterling detectives say to a drink? I think it sounds wonderful. I wouldn't mind catching up with Tommy. I'll shoot Ruby an invite too. I have no doubt you will. Come on, Chloe, let's give this little detour a proper epilogue. I, for one, would like to see you put that plaque back where it belongs. Celebrate. Diamond choice. Alright, let's do it. I think we've earned a celebration. You wave across the street at Maddie, who stares at you with a guilt and surprise. Come on, kid. We're going home. Roof. Hey, you too. What's up with us and bars and dogs? Just saying. A short car ride later, you arrive at the bar to find your uncle and Sophia waiting. Sophia leaps out of her seat and pulls Maddie into a tight hug. Oh my god, Maddie, I'm so happy you're okay. Alright, Ma, ease up. You're squishing me. She lets go and cuffs him upside the head. Don't go messing around with the guy Nico again, or I'm gonna ground your ass into the Stone Age. You hear me? Yeah, Ma. Uncle Tommy, Maddie has something he wants to say to you, isn't that right? I'm the one who robbed the bar. Maddie, I don't understand.
Nico put you up to it, huh?
Yeah, I'm really sorry, Mr. Rose. Uncle Tommy. Go easy on him. He's trying to help his mom. The real perp's already in cuffs. I got it way over my head, but I want to make it right, whatever it takes.
Wish you'd come to me, Maddie. But I know what it's like when some scumbag's putting the screws to you.
So you're not mad at me?
I'm a little mad, sure, but I'm a whole lot madder than the lone shark son of a bitch.
Thanks, sir.
But you better get here bright and early tomorrow, because you're helping me clean this crap up.
Yes, sir. What happened with Nico? He's not going to be bothering anybody for a while. Hang on, are you telling me... What are you telling me? Miss Meladonian, your debts to that man will no longer be an issue. Her eyes widen, and an obvious weight lifts from her shoulders. Thank you. You have no idea what this is going to do for us. A pleasure. Besides, I've always wanted to get in a scrap with Russian mobsters. Now I can cross that off my bucket list. A short while later, the usual crowd trickles in, mostly cleaned up bar. Mafalda walks to the door, followed by her Luke and Ruby. Welcome to the party. I brought wine. To a bar? Listen, don't question good wine. Hey, the place was raw. I'll drink it myself if no one else wants it.
Hell you will. How you been, Mafalda?
Uncle Tommy takes the bottle and waves Mafalda towards the bar. Hey, well, since apparently there is still booze here, I'm gonna get a drink. You want anything, Luke? Nothing you'd order. I'll just go with. You smirk at the bickering. You glance around the room. In a corner booth, Maddie and Sophia share a plate of cheese fries, while Uncle Tommy dusts off your dad's badge and gun by the bar. I'll approach Ruby and Luke. You find Ruby and Luke sitting together at the far side of the bar. Ruby makes a sour face as she takes a sip of Luke's drink. Oh yeah, it's supposed to taste like that? What, subtle and refined? More like bitter and pretentious, kind of like you in a cocktail form. Damn. She may be onto something, Luke. Hey, Chloe. Luke was just telling me what happened today. How are you holding up after everything? I'm just glad we got the bad guys. Maddie's safe. Uncle Bars is gonna be alright, and those guys won't be hurting anyone else for a long time. I'd call it a good day, all in all. Maddie and your uncle are lucky to have you in their corner. Luke drains the remains of his drink and holds the empty glass up towards you. So is there a friends and family discount situation, or? Luke, rude! I was already bitter and pretentious, right? And why not add rude if it might give me a free drink? Nope, you pay full price. No, you know what? You actually paid double, you little bastard. You shake your head, smiling as you turn away from the bar. I like how there's an option now that says no one else. You know, you're just like done with everyone. You're like, I want to move on. Join Maddie and Sophia in the corner booth. Maddie lifts a stringy cheese fry to his lips. Sophia clutches a napkin covered in financial scribbles and talking a mile a minute. And we'll finally be able to fix the hot water heater. How are you guys making out over here? Can I get you anything? No, you've already done more than enough. I feel like I can breathe for the first time in months. So, what are you going to do now that Nico's not squatting on top of your bank account? Can we please get a new car? Forget the car. We need to start talking about college. Mr. Thorne was telling me about scholarships they now have. Oh, Ma, come on, not this again. You gotta start thinking about this stuff. No, you don't. Yeah, Maddie, what do you want to be when you grow up? Well, I was thinking about going to school for plumbing. But I don't know, I kind of want to go to art school. You never told me that. It was never an option. Well, it is now. We've got a lot of options, you and me. She reaches over the table and ruffles his hair, and you leave him to it. You join Uncle Tommy and Mafalda behind the bar. She lifts a glass of wine in greeting as your uncle drives a fresh nail into the wall. You step forward and hang your dad's plaque back on the wall. Your uncle nods approvingly.
There you go, Jimmy, back where you belong.
Everything is in its rightful place again, but I can't shake something Nico said. He was just running his mouth. Don't let it get to you.
What did he say this time?
He said to ask Scarlatus about Dad. Said they brag about sticking that pig and getting away with it.
Scarlatus, that's a new one. I'm getting now. He name drop anybody else interesting?
Somebody called Big V.
As in Viola Scarletti? Nico said that?
Uncle Tommy, who's Viola?
Old Sicilian money. Big time power player.
Not anymore, she's not.
Yeah, but back in the day, she owned half the city. Inherited an empire after old man went missing. They call her the Widow.
You think she could have had something to do with Dad's murder?
I don't know, but I'm sure V's put bodies in the ground we don't even know about.
That much I'll agree with. I'll say this, if that family's been talking about killing a cop loud enough that Nico heard it, that merits looking into. I call dibs. Close the Dormer case, and then we'll talk.
Now, why don't you get back to your old friends and let us old-timers reminisce in peace?
As you wrap up with the others, you notice Tristan sitting on a bench by the window. He cradles a glass of wine with one hand while scratching Alice's head bones. Check in with Tristan. Well, you look real. I am royalty after all. I was talking about the dog.
Roof!
You seem like you're in a good mood. I have to say it feels good to finish something. You know, fix something. I'm starting to see why you like this job. Almost makes it worth getting locked in a freezer by a loan shark. Eh. Though it's a shame we weren't locked in there just a little bit longer. Speak for yourself. I'm still cold. Let me know if you ever need warming up again. Don't hold your breath. How can I? You keep taking it away. You dip your fingers into his wine and spritz his face. He recoils, laughing. Can I buy you a drink? I need a new one, after all. Ideally, one without Edu de fingertip in its tasting notes. It's my uncle's bar. Shh. Trying to be a beneficent, okay? Besides, psychoanalyzing people based on their beverage preferences is a favorite holiday. And then I'll take a coffee. Nah, it's let loose time. Sometimes you just gotta let loose. I know. It's a shock. Locum not taking the coffee decision for once. Whiskey on the rocks. What does your psychoanalyzing babble say about that? Depends on the brand. Horse Creek. Well, that would mean you're a 65-year-old man, most likely a grizzled cowboy with a 5 o'clock shadow. There are worse things to be. Alice nuzzles your hand, pressing her wet nose into your palm. And how are you doing this evening, Alice? Ruff. Indeed, you're taking a big step up from an alley behind a butcher shop. I imagine you must have some complicated feelings regarding the drastic change in station. Yeah, that's how I feel when he talks to. Tristan slips behind the bar and returns with a glass of whiskey for you. He raises his glass to yours. To being a grizzled old cowboy, all I need now is the spurs and a 10-gallon hat. If that's a fantasy of yours, I'd gladly help you play it out. You're impossible. Listen, some of us are just big old flirts, okay? Leave us alone. Just, Tristan's gaze drifts to your dad's badge hanging above the bar and then flicks to yours, especially when we're interested in someone. It probably doesn't mean much coming from me, but I think your father would be happy with how you handled yourself today. You meet him with a soft smile and place your hand over his. He'd be happier that I had you helping me out. Tristan laces his fingers with yours. Your heart skips a beat as you feel a small tug pulling towards him. Until Ruby calls across from the room and you spring back. Oh my god, this game is seriously... Like, this whole book is like Most Wanted 2.0. Seriously. Tristan, can you come over here? Jacobian cocktails have to be better than whatever Luke just made. Sounds like duty calls. Tristan winks and then starts towards the bar, calling towards Ruby and Luke. You're gonna need a whiskey. Lots of whiskey. The night wears on, and before you know it, closing time has arrived. As the last of the regulars trickle out of the door, you and Uncle Tommy say goodbye to everyone. I remember Maddie bright and early. You got it, Mr. Rose. With all the nods as she heads out the door, Ruby close on her heels. Rose. Thanks for a great night, Chloe. I'll see you tomorrow. Soon enough, it's just you and Tristan standing in the doorway. Uncle Tommy makes himself scarce. Hey, thanks for your help today. Seriously, it's nice to know someone has my back. I'm honored to have been of assistance. Not everybody would have gone to such great lengths getting that boy off the hook. I'm just doing my job. Chloe, I have had considerable experience with a manner of people who just do their jobs. Trust me, you're not one of those people. You share a grin, meeting his eyes. Your hand casually brushes his, and Luke walks up. You're almost disappointed as you turn to him. God damn it, Luke. 5 minutes. Just every single person in this book. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I wanted to give you some good news before I head out. I got a lead on where your murder weapon came from. 5 minutes, Luke! 5 minutes! What, you thought I was going to be like, oh my god, where'd the murder weapon come from? Anyway, without further ado, thanks for watching. Much love and appreciation. Catch you all later. And remember, before we go, smash that like button. Share the video. Be greatly appreciated. Share the channel. It's my hopes and dreams to just grow this community as large as possible. Have an active, fun community, We all just have some fun, Just enjoy, being here, meeting one another, talking, and hopefully you guys enjoy what I do. And yeah, make sure to subscribe. And without further ado, love your beautiful faces, and I'll catch you all on the next video, maybe on Twitch sometime. Come see a live stream. Peace out.